Well, good day all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for New Nominee Day. And it is Monday, and we are sitting here now at the 22nd of July, 2024, just after 7 p.m. Central Time. And yes, President Biden over the weekend stepped back, changed his mind, and he's now thrown his full weight and support behind his VP, Kamala Harris. And she did well today. She claims she's gotten half the delegates that were pledged to President Biden to go on her side and go with her. She did raise, and this is coming out as fact, $81 million. That's a heck of a lot of money in no time at all. She gives voters that were on the line something new. A person of color, a woman. Can't get away from that. A bit more youth. Can't get away from that. An educated person in the sense she was a district attorney. Pretty good there. She got family that have been general counsel, as I understand it, for, I think it's Uber or Lyft. It's one of those in Pepsi. So technology there. So how's she going to be looked at? Well, we've seen her for 3.5 years. The other side of the equation is, what did she accomplish in 3.5 years? The one thing she was given was the border. That was her first role. Go back and look what President Biden assigned her. If you called that a success, it depends. It's a success if you wanted the border open, illegal immigrants to come in, help the labor market, flood it with extra people, success. If you wanted documented immigrants to come in controlled, it was not a success. I'll leave that up to each one of you because that's what you'll be deciding. The Republicans will bring out all her other faults, you know that, and Democrats will have to bring out all of the good things that she has accomplished, which I admit, I don't know what she's accomplished. I've been a critic of hers for years because I don't see her doing anything. That's me. And don't say that that has to do because I'm a Republican or a Democrat. I vote both ways. I'm not a lifelong anything. So that's how I look at it, and we'll see. Now, she's the first new nominee. Now, who else is going to throw their hat in the ring? We've seen a couple of people say no. Who's she going to choose as VP? That's going to be very important. How does the Trump-Vance ticket attack it? What will they do about it? And we'll see. You know, the fact that, just give you an idea, that Elon Musk committed $45 million a month to Trump just last week, a month, right until the election. That's half of what she raised in a record amount of time, but that's certainly a big number. And now that we're getting a new idea of the ticket, does this energize more Republicans, or does this take people away from that and go, I was going to vote for him because I couldn't stand the idea of Biden at his age and fumbling, and now I've got somebody I can go there. This is all going to be in the mix and talked about for a long time, a real long time, but not as long as you think. Why? What day is the Democratic National Convention? The 19th. We're at the 22nd. It's less than a month away. I can walk to the convention center in 5 minutes from where I live, all right? I don't think I'm exaggerating. I think it's 5 minutes. We already are seeing how the police are going to handle this whole area because it's going to be under tremendous scrutiny. But I will tell you the good news. New trees, the streets have been redone, painting is done, the signs look pretty, the stoplights work. Okay. When we look at the S&P, the Harris move in the market is over. It was a short-lived move. We now know what it is, and everything after this is not newness other than when she names her VP. That'll be the last little thrust. That isn't going to happen right away. Whoever she's going to choose has to be vetted in some manner. I think she took one of Eric, I forgot, Holland? I think that's who she chose to do the vetting for her. We'll find out. I heard that today, I think. Meanwhile, you're still in a very much of an uptrend. You're near all-time highs in the S&P. The market has seen a bit of a correction. When you put the swing line on, you're out of a trend. You have a higher high and a lower low. This market broke down right through here, past 4 days, and now you're getting a bounce in the market. Where's the battleground? The 18-day average of closes. I'm a broken record because I say this so often. Markets like to go to that number to figure out what to do. Now, last time we did this, we got like that. We did stay under it for a while, the 18-day average back here in the April-May period. So the question is, what is this going to be? Is this going to be more of a correction period? If it is, potential support numbers are all the way down at 53.69, the 100-day average, and the 2. A better support might be the Bollinger Band, and that's right here at the 55, let's call it 55.06 area to round it. So about 100 points lower than this is the next support zone. And I'm going to repeat, void of trend, and once you lost the bullish embedded reading, when I was gone, lost it, the goal was to get back to the closest moving average, which was the 18, and it did so. You know, at the end of this, I'm going to talk about my charting course, because I teach you how to do these charts and how you apply them. I make you understand them. I even make you draw the swing lines by hand in the course, so you learn how to do it. And it's quite fascinating. And then the indicators are in our charting software. But lower highs, lower lows, bearish in the NASDAQ. The support zone, the Bollinger Band, you got pretty close to it on, what would that have been? That would have been Thursday. You made a run down to the number. Friday, well, actually, that's Friday. Today you got the bounce, and tonight you're just sort of hanging. I wasn't here last week for you, so it gives you an idea. I was here, but my week was a nightmare. We had that tornado and got most things settled. Now the roof is the next thing. Higher high, higher lows. Still in an uptrend in the Dow, market correcting, present tense, getting away from being overbought. Either of these numbers over 70, I term as being overbought. So you're getting away from it now. You resume a downtrend if you take out Friday's lows and get back over to the 40,467, get under that, then I can make an argument you're going to go back and challenge the 18-day average. Don't do that, and you're still in an uptrend, and the next resistance is 41,400. When we look at the Russell, you're correcting, present tense, an overbought condition. Markets are not embedded. They haven't tried to, so this is where you're at. I think most traders would agree that the index that they're hoping to see the rotation into is the Russell. The question is, are these companies worth buying here? And certainly on this pattern right now, you're still in an uptrend. You've got higher lows, higher highs. So unless you take out this 2188.70 level, the trend, the correction may have run its course and ready to run back up. Take that out, and then wherever the 18-day average comes in, it wouldn't surprise me if you make a run to that number. In the 10-year note, the market has sunk back. It did go to the 18-day average after it lost its bullish embedded reading, and now I think it has to determine what, if anything, it wants to do in front of Thursday's jobless claims and Friday's PCE numbers. When we take a look at the 5-year, I can make an argument it should still get a bit lower to that 18-day average before it goes back up. I believe that's the case. In the dollar index, you're in a downtrend trying to get over these highs, but there's a lot of resistance at 104.32 to 104.48. You're correcting an oversold condition. Did we ever embed? Let's take a look together. You need both numbers underneath 20 to be embedded. Day one of embedding was last Thursday. Day before you were embedded, and the day before. So you had it. And then when you lose that, you lose it by one of the numbers, which it did there. I'll come back to it, at 23. So until now what should happen is before this low is taken out, the closest main moving average should be hit, which in this case is the 100. And as you can see, you're faltering. So we'll see what it can do with that. But that's what I teach. And doesn't mean I'm right, but that's what I teach. Now, when we look at the euro, you lost the bullish embedded reading here, and the goal is to make a run to the 200-day average. You pretty much are doing that. I consider that move pretty much what it should have done. And I was looking, as you know, for the 130 level before I even left in the British pound. You got there plus a little bit. Now you're void of a trend as the market has to take a look at new fundamentals to see what they think the Bank of England's going to do. Bitcoin, how's it going to respond? Because is Miss Harris, VP Harris, is she as pro-Bitcoin as Trump is, or is she more like Biden, which was definitely not, in my opinion, in the pro-Trump? They wanted regulation on this. I don't know. We'll find out. But the trend is up. The bias is up. The market's got good support. It's come well off the 55,000 level and come back up $12,000. And a lot of that happened when I was out of town. In the crude, we continue to slip as the market is looking at still the slowdown worldwide. That is why banks want to cut rates. And as they cut them, it takes a while to turn a big ship and get it going back the other way. And I think that's what's weighing on the energy market right here. Same we have in the WTI. These aren't bullish charts. Same in gasoline. You had that one rallied bump that we had into the fourth, and it let go like that. We were talking about that. And the market's, what's it going to do now? Basically, most of the summer driving season, believe it or not, is behind the market. In another week, you're in August, and then the kids are going back to school. When we take a look at SEP natural gas, well, you've lost the bearish embedded reading. So a challenge of the 18-day average, the way I teach charting, should happen before you get to that low. So we'll see what happens on that, but that's how I'd be viewing what the market might do. If you like to learn what I'm doing here, it's pretty simple. There's 5 studies. These are the 5 that I teach. And I keep it simple. I don't want to put an MACD with an RSI and a slow stochastic on a chart. 3 momentum indicators will act differently. You want to pick the ones you want. I like the slow stochastic. There's all of them. The charts I teach you will look like that in the black background. And we emphasize all this by doing it in a certain way. It's all video chapters. There's 45 of them, broken into these main segments. You get to then see in my morning futures video and with my free trial to the research that's included with the course along with the charting software, how it's applied on a day-by-day basis. Not just historical, while it's happening right there on the chart. That's the way to learn. So you look at history to learn the concept, and then you got to go to current charts to see what it is. You get both, my Spider ETF and my full research package, which is also the futures video in the morning with my written updates, is part of this. Go to iraepstein.com under the word education. Move your cursor to the top here, and you'll have it that way also. In the meantime, I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day.